Welcome back to another episode of Out of the Blank Podcast. It took another pandemic possibly locking us all down for Jason Latona to join me again. Thanks for giving me some time out of your busy schedule.
It's 100% the pandemic. Like literally the only reason like I'm on here right now is because I'm like, dude, you're seeing fucking Alex Jones is talking about mask. Everyone's talking about mask and shit. So I'm
Careful,
like,
you can't say that on YouTube. You can't say Alex Jones on YouTube.
you can't?
No.
What about Grace Jones?
Is that his sister?
It's that big black lady from Conan the Barbarian.
I've never seen that movie.
Not Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer. She's also in Eddie Murphy's Boomerang. She plays Strange. And she says, no man can resist his pussy.
This is a horrible way to start the show.
Exactly. Dude, every time I want you to make sure you never want me back on here.
I love having you back on. It just sucks. It's been so long since you decided to join me again.
Dude, I'm really fucking busy.
I
Like,
know
and
what's
not,
been going on. Give me the lowdown.
it's horrible. No, I'm just saying. I just go. I go to work and I come home and I just sit there and I cry after that. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty much it. And then on the weekends, like I'm off today, which is cool. But on the weekends, I just yeah, no, dude, I cry. Saturday I cry. You see, like for
Are
me,
you
it
being
keeps getting
serious? Are you just
yeah.
joking?
Oh
Okay.
no, no, I'll run you through I'll run you through I'll run
2
you through
a.m. cry, 3 a.m. cry.
No, no, I'm in bed by that time. No, no, no.
Okay.
I'm talking like I wake up, cry, and then yeah, I cry. And then Sunday I typically
Stop. You're depressing me.
no, no, it gets better. Sunday I typically go to arm wrestling practice and and then after that I cry.
Did you do the competition thing that you said you were going to do?
I've done a lot of competitions, man. Yeah, I mean the big one I'm proud of is that I qualified for like they did like kind of like a series of different so each like around the actually all around North America and South America. So Brazil between South America, North America, Canada, and US. They did a thing called the East West Qualifier, and it was a chance for American arm wrestlers to have a tournament in your region. So they did like Northeast, Southeast, Southwest, blah blah blah, different states like Pennsylvania, Washington, et cetera, Florida, and the winners, the top two in each category, would face each other in a final. The winner of that would be going over to Istanbul, Turkey, and having a match against a European athlete of the same weight class. So the guy who won, it's actually that happened back for me in March. That actually match happens tomorrow. That actually happens tomorrow, and the kid who won, his name's Dustin Hyatt. But I did qualify for my region. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go to the actual finals, finals. But it was cool to be a part of that.
Is
Yeah.
Dustin Hyatt from Pennsylvania?
No, he's like from I don't know where he's from actually.
Okay. I
He's
met a lot
somewhere
of people with
south.
the last name Hyatt from Pennsylvania. I was just wondering if it was like a localized thing. You mentioned North America and South America. They didn't care about Central America?
No, they hate them there.
Fuck them.
There's no
Fuck
arm
them.
wrestlers
Fuck
there.
them.
Yeah, fuck Central America. No, I guess if there was a tournament, maybe there was like six fucking wands that showed up. You know what I mean? But no, like I said, they with real talk, it was a really cool event, and like the kid Dustin who won, he has an all expense paid trip to Istanbul, Turkey, and if he wins his match there, he's going to be invited back, and it's actually pretty good money. There's a good money involved now in our sport, which is because of sponsorships and just like anything, it's if you want a sport to grow, you just have to fund it, or whatever that thing is. If you want a podcast to grow, you got to fund it.
How do I get a sponsor with the sponsor you got, All Max? I used to have their protein way back when I first started working out. I used to do their protein all the time.
Yeah, no, I actually do have Allmax. I wanted to have like a little thing behind me, but Allmax was great, man. Actually, my wife reached out to them. My sister was a in her prime was like a big Allmax athlete, a sponsored Allmax athlete. And Sarah was just literally going through and just messaging all these kind of like small independent businesses, not small, obviously Allmax isn't small, but anywhere from Allmax to like the banner behind me, I have Barbell Jeans. I don't know if you heard of Barbell Jeans before,
Mhm.
but she basically went ahead and was like, hey, this is like a little package of like, this is what me and she showed my little package. They felt sorry for me and they gave me free protein. No, she just basically emailed them, emailed the like say, hey, who do I talk to? And We sent like a little package. Then they gave us for all Max in particular, they gave us like a trial period, and if we met certain criterias and got sales from within that trial, they signed us on to be sponsored or official All Max affiliates. I'm not a sponsored athlete from them because I don't get like pay. You know what I mean? Like they don't pay me for anything. But as an affiliate, I'm in their affiliate program. I have a discount code, Jason 15, if you want to use that. So and that will save you 15% on your
We're fucking 10 minutes in and you give us a discount code already?
I never even do this. Normally, you're the one asking me, where can we find you? And
Bullshit.
at the end,
Yeah,
yeah.
but tattoo
But
on your ass.
yeah, but no, they're great. And true real facts is I actually always use the Allmax creatine. I like their protein and I like their caffeine. And having the sponsorship allows me to use more of their products. I get discount products, free merch and stuff, and then I can, like I said, expend, and I get a little commission here and there, which is pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, that's good. Hey, like I said, Barbell did kind of the same thing. We met a rep for Barbell Jeans, and we told them they were looking for like new, like kind of niche sports, that they could like market themselves into. And I was like, dude, most arm wrestlers
The
wear
porn
jeans.
industry.
Yeah, well, that would be where I would go.
It's neat and clean, surprisingly.
Yeah, but you don't really usually wear jeans during it, unfortunately. And if you do, they come off relatively quickly.
Sometimes.
If you're doing it
Always
right.
leave with a stain is the motto.
But but Barbell was another one they reached out, or Sarah and I actually went to Barbell. They're actually from Vegas. They're a Vegas company. We went to their flagship store here in Vegas, and they let us pick out some merch. They gave us hats, beanies, t-shirts. They hooked us with a whole really like a wardrobe, and they gave me a big banner.
They gave you the Disneyland treatment?
Yeah, depending on the 2023 Disneyland treatment. Yeah, they painted me black. And then, yeah, and they gave me here's some jeans, boy.
Oh, you
Honestly,
can't
I'm really doing everything I can just to see, because dude, you're a pussy now. Like when I
What?
first met, let me explain. When I first met, like 2020, Robbie, yeah, you were like, dude, you were like edgier. You let me say whatever I wanted to say, and
You
now
can
you're like,
still say stuff.
now you're just like,
You can still say stuff. I just think of the inner list in my head that goes off with the number of people that are just going to be outraged. Because of the Kennedy stuff had curved more of the audience, and people are interested in the Kennedy assassination happened to be more liberal, progressive, or Democratic. And that's kind of where I started not getting brainwashed, but started getting more an alignment there. Now I'm apolitical and I've been always apolitical, but now I notice certain things. Like I forgot what was there was like a thing that came out, and it was like a movie or something, and I kind of viewed it from it's a recent one. It's trending because of the fact that how hated it was, because it did something that was kind of it's the Oliver Anthony song. The great song,
the
fantastic.
Richmond, North of Virginia,
Yeah,
that one.
great song, fantastic. But from a liberal perspective, I understand where they're getting upset by it and why conservatives like it so much.
Here's the freaking problem. Here's the problem.
It's a good song. He sung it with emotion, is what really matters.
No, he sounded great. And here's the problem with everything in a nutshell is what I just said from the beginning, and from anything, whether the Disney reference or this reference, the pussy reference, it's like the reality.
Well, Disney will kill you. I don't want to talk about them.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, I still love Disney. Here's the thing, but that's the
they are running like Abu Dhabi grave and their fucking coworkers and all that.
But the problem is like this is everyone needs to just lighten the piss up, man. Everyone just needs to lighten up. That's all it comes down to. Again, I go back and say anything of when we talked about when like our first conversations, like talking about the pandemics, I talk about the way I talk about this or that, and at the end of the day, the reason I can comfortably say anything that I have to say is, why? There's no hate behind what I say. I have no hate behind what I say. None. So I don't care if I can swear on it that I have no hate behind what I say.
A little
except
bit.
No, truthfully.
Look, I felt some remarks you said to me that I've been like, there's a little bit of hate behind that. Like when I
meant that about you.
I was like, hey, how's it going? You're like, what's up, baby dick? I was like,
that I mean, yeah, that part. I hate your dick. I fucking hate your dude. I hate your dick so bad. But the issue is with everything is people want to compartmentalize themselves into some fucking kind of box, or to whatever it is.
Conform.
And
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
understand why. I
Why
don't.
not?
And
Life's
uh,
easier that way.
it may be, and hey, here's the thing. I'll even go and not back or here's the thing. And even if that's the case, so be it. So be it. Then again, I support your fucking whatever that is. My thing is, don't let me do it. Don't be mad if I don't want to do it. That's been my point from the beginning. Whether you're talking about masks back in the day, if one mask, two masks, six masks, you talk about whatever you like it, liberals versus Democrats versus Republicans versus conservatives versus blah 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 blah. It's all the same thing. Like people, what are you then? I'm like, what are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking? What am I? I don't need to put myself in a like I said, compartmentalize myself into any kind of box, whether it's a political box or a this box or a that box. The only thing I'll say that I actually am is I'm number one, I'm a Christian. I am a Christian. And there's so many different versions of that. So I understand if you think I'm crazy for saying that, because there's plenty of Christians I think that are fucking wackos. You know, they're wackos. And there's
Praise God, baby.
but you know what I'm saying? Gad.
Yeah.
God damn it. But there's plenty of there's plenty of people with the same opinions or same views as me that I still think are fucking crazy too. They could think I'm crazy, no problem. But I don't want to necessarily make you change for me. Please don't make me change for you. And I just that's it to me in a nutshell.
There's nothing wrong or controversial what you said, but also people will still be outraged of it. The smartest thing, not even the smartest thing, the most clear thing that has been said in the past probably couple of years politically has been by a billionaire on a fucking golf course. And nobody wants to admit it. And the people are outraged by the person who said it. And do you know who that person was?
Conor McGregor.
No, it was Donald Trump.
Donald
I'm not even a look, and you have to preface it. I'm not a Trump fan at all. I don't care anything about politics. I don't vote. I don't give a shit because none of it matters. But all he said, some guy asked him, "Who do you want to win in the whole Russia-Ukraine issue?" And all he said was, "I just want people to stop dying." And that was controversial. But I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we're so distorted, right? It's fun for me because, like, watching it, because all the UAP shit I just started getting back interested in. Nobody cares. Everyone's like, they found alien biologics. Did you hear it? And I'm like, that could be a dog that got sent up in 65 and, like, it decided to come down. Like, there's no specifics on. And honestly, the hearing was a little bit much anyway, but who cares? As long as Allmax sponsors me, I'll say whatever they want.
No, that's the thing, man. I very the only times I even hear anything about what's going on in the general news, you know what I mean, the CNN, Fox, slash whatever, like what I guess the mainstream news. The only reason I even know what's going on with it is because either my guys at work will talk about it, or my wife says, "Hey, did you see this?" Because at the end of the day, I really don't listen to it, and here's the reason why is because if there's any not difference, but if there's anything that I've evolved to from like our conversations, and I've always had this as my mantra right here, like it's always been the thing, but it's let peace dictate and rule your life. Like, does the thing make you peaceful?
That hit me
You
in my
know,
brain.
I can tell. Does this thing make you peaceful? And I feel what I'm finding out is whether I is like as I would used to be like want to like seek information, you know what I'm saying? But if for me, now again, you could be totally different. You could seek a bunch of information and be like, dude, holy shit, like I need this. Having that much information makes you peaceful because you feel more prepared. For me, the more information I find, the less peaceful I become. So it's up to me to, censor my own self, if you would, because I'm the only one that's going to be able to dictate my own peace and my own happiness. Again, I cannot change how you treat me, but I can 100%. I have no control of how you treat me or anybody else treats me, but I do have 100% control of how I react to that situation, which in turn goes into the ridiculous. If you think, yes, I'm correct in that statement, then you understand how ridiculous and hypocrisy the whole left and liberal thing is, because it's like it's up to me to check your emotions, which again, it's so asinine that it's not even worth arguing with me. You know what I'm saying? It's just not it's no different than I'm looking at the thing and I say that orange is brown, is red, or that orange is blue, and you're like, it's an orange, it's the color of it's orange, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like a little kid. Like Louis C.K.
Well,
makes a thing about it,
that's a thing
fig
right now. You know
Newtons.
that. You know that, right?
Which part?
They're in school education systems. They're teaching the children not to say that, to point out colors of the orange. You can't say that because it's racist. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that.
It's the most ridiculous thing ever. Again, there's certain
Just change
things.
all of society. We don't need
Yeah,
it to
there's
be this
certain
way.
things, but again, like I said, it's
Burn
really
it.
not,
Burn
dude.
it
I have
all.
said this over and over again to you. It's none of it is that fucking shocking, man. It's not that shocking. I remember politically when we were talking about back in the 20 whatever the election was, and 2020, yeah. And and my sister, and she was married at the time, and she's like really into the politic things, and because of who she was married to, and et cetera, et cetera. And they're telling me all this stuff, and I was like, look, Biden's gonna win the election. And they're like, dude, Trump's gonna win. He's gonna win by a landslide. Well, Biden's going to win the election. I said it. I may have said it on this podcast. I've said it before. I was like, Biden's going to win. How do you know? Because he has to. And again, I'm not saying it from a political standpoint. I'm saying it from what I believe, from my belief system standpoint, and where we're at in this timeline, and something that I've been studying since I'm a kid, and I'm seeing it unfold in front of me. I'm seeing it all unfold in front of me. And what's so interesting, man, is I was just at work, and we were talking about denial, denial of your beliefs, where say you're like, you say, just you, for instance, there's something that you do that that you do, and you enjoy doing it, or you get whatever benefit from doing it. It could be something positive, like
6 hours of
6 hours
cardio.
of cardio, exactly. Or it could be something negative, like, or not negative, but it could be something
My
like
foot's been asleep since this morning. I'll just let you know that. I think that's one of the downsides.
so, but what I'm saying, it could be 6 hours of cardio. It could be having a drink before bed. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's one person's medicine, another person's poison. And what's interesting to me is I don't know how am I say it? I'm seeing these things like this, like I said, something.
Gay, 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 gay,
No, it has
gay.
nothing to do with
Oh,
gays.
no.
No,
No, I
I'm
thought you were
actually,
gonna come out as
no, no, but what I'm getting at is that people are in denial they will defend. Let me say it this way: they'll defend to the end they're right or they're wrong, and it's very hard. Where someone will be like, "Dude, let me just give you an example." Someone will be like, and I'm not saying any of these people are right, including myself, but let's just say, you're a you know what I'm saying? And you're real big against it. And you're like, dude, look at all the studies. It's showing it just did this. It shows it's that. It showed us it's that. How can people not get it?
please, those examples all go off YouTube. Can you say something like that is not controversial, like
No, no,
Cracker
I'm
Barrel's a
saying,
great restaurant or
no,
something?
no, no. I'm saying it for I'm imitating someone who
I
is.
know you are, but YouTube will still take that down. So I would prefer if we just do something like Cracker Barrel. Use Cracker
Okay.
Barrel.
But I'm okay. So, and then to the other person's, whatever it is. And the person says, okay, why can't they see what's going on? Right. That's what I said. They could, and someone else is going like, well, it's so obvious to me. It's so obvious to me. Right. Because I'm on side of this thing, or you know what I'm saying? This is what I believe. You tell this same person, like I can tell this same person, and I'm speaking from actually like facts here. That's why it's like difficult. I'm not saying this. I am saying this, but I didn't say the first part. And and then I say, oh, well, in that same light, if I say to you, let's open the book of Daniel, Thessalonians, Revelations, Isaiah, and let's look at the Bible for a second. And again, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying this is me defending my thing. And I go, I'm showing, let's just say there's 5 points, and say, just for the sake of this argument or this experiment, you only need 5 points for it to be in your mind true. In your mind true. Just if it's this is a game show for right now. But if 5 points happens, it's 100% true, no matter what I say or what you say or whatever. Well, this is the reason this thing is. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got 5. 5 work. Okay, so what if I give you 5, but it's from a biblical standpoint that we're in the end times?
We are in
I'm
the end
using your
times.
rule, but I'm using your rule, not you. But you know what I'm saying? I'm using the other person's rule. And then they're like, yeah, but it's blah, blah. But I'm like, you just went against your own formula. You're telling me this plus this equals this formula. So I give you that same formula, this plus this plus this. You should at least agree that I'm right, but they don't. but they don't. And that's what's really interesting to me. Again, I'm speaking cryptically for your fucking sake. If I wasn't, I would just say exactly how I feel.
I get you. I feel the same way, but I also think we are in the end times. I mean, the UAPs are here. They're saying that even though I don't buy it for a second. The world's obviously got plunged into complete and utter chaos. Chick-fil-A is getting shit again. Not even for the anti-LGBTQ stuff. It's the opposite now. They're getting shit from the conservatives that supported them in the first place for backing down. I'm like, Chick-fil-A just open on Sundays. You can't win either way, so you might as well. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know. It's just the world's
yeah,
kind of going down the shitter.
yeah. No, and like I said, I think again, if
You
I
can't care about it because if you care about it, you're just going to drive yourself insane. I think at this point now, you just have to kind of joke at every single thing that kind of goes around and just live.
yeah, I mean, hence, what do you think I've been doing the last fucking for 3 years? You know
I
what I
don't
mean,
know.
that's all I've been doing is lifting weights and joking around.
What
No, but
supplements are you on? Like testosterone booster and all that?
wait, you mean like legal or
Well,
illegal?
are you on illegal ones too? Can you talk about the illegal
No,
ones?
I told you. I mean, I'm 47, man. I take testosterone. Yeah.
Well, I was at the gym and what I've been doing now is taking creatine, but also at the same time, I'm lifting heavier and kind of doing a little bit less of cardio.
Yeah, I love
Um,
it.
so like I bench 185 and
Yeah,
I'm
good.
probably 158, 160. I don't look
Yeah.
it, but I am.
Well, you're
And
tall.
I'm 5'8".
Oh, I always think you're way taller than that because of
No,
your
okay.
fucking hands. I look at your hands. You have hands like a damn like you look like fucking ET.
Phone
Yeah,
home,
you.
brother. I
I
told you they're
know.
here. We all got to run. No, but then
Oh,
I was
dude,
in the,
you've
hold
seen
on.
ET, right?
I have seen it.
Okay. Does ET say ET phone home or ET home phone?
I thought he just says ET home.
No, he says one of the two.
No, I'm pretty
I'm
sure he just says ET home.
No, no, he does. And then he says when he wants Elliot and Drew Barrymore
I know it's a
to
Mandela effect and people think phone home, but it's the opposite.
it's yeah, it's ET home phone is actually what he says in the movie because you know about that thing. Okay, because I
This
think
is
that's
1967. We don't got home phones.
yeah. No,
We
no,
got a
I
rotary.
like the whole Mandela effect thing, so that's why yeah.
Um, but I was in a locker room at the gym and this guy, like, I mean, in a matter of a month, this guy, he's probably 10 years older than you, just got insanely like jacked and ripped. And always wears a gold fucking watch on his hand. Where I'm like, why do you wear that when you work out, you fucking bastard?
I like
Um,
those guys. Those guys are
I
always the
don't.
ones that stand naked in the bathroom and and drop their towel for like 3 minutes.
But I saw a bottle of pills on the thing and I looked at it and I just go, that's T booster. He's taking T booster. And then he comes over to the thing and I was wearing a medium shirt, not an XL like this. So obviously I looked, people wouldn't expect it. People go, I would not expect that under the jacket. I had people saying that to me. I was like, yeah. So it was nice and tight on my arms and
Yeah,
everything.
you gotta do it. Yeah, tight.
And he came over to me and he goes, oh yeah, man. He goes, you know, you're looking good too. He's like, I've been trying my hardest. And I just kind of looked like, oh yeah, but you're on something. And he just goes, what? I'm not on anything. And I just looked at him and go, Bubba, come on, come on, come on.
Yeah,
You're
it's really
on, you're on
weird.
something.
I don't understand. I don't understand like the other when Brandon and I used to do our podcast. Again, we just don't do it just because of time and stuff. Like I said, I'm working much more. Um, but I don't understand the lying. I mean, I do for a certain this. I
There's
understand like
shame
from
that
its
comes with it. Even
really.
though it's to me, it's so normal. Like if somebody said that they were going to take steroids, I was like, go ahead. Like I think there's if anything, it's become more normalized taking steroids. Like a lot of people will be like, yeah, I'm on steroids. Just openly talk about it. You make it weird when you try and act like it's a controversial thing. But I told him, I said, I saw the pill bottles in the bathroom. I know you're on something. He's like, oh, that's just T booster. And I was like, yeah, but you're on something. I was like, there's no way a person your age can get like that without being on something. I was like, you make it weird when you act like you're not. Like nobody's gonna believe you're 100% natural when you have 50 fucking veins coming out of your bicep.
Well,
Looks like you just
again, like if you
pro.
want me to touch on this subject real quick, so real quick, so someone like that gentleman, he's probably on a prescription level of testosterone and takes over his prescription level. Like I'm on a prescription level of testosterone. I actually take literally under my prescription level. And
You
I
look
so
smaller.
my shirt's bigger. I know you're gonna say that, yeah. I'm trying to hide myself. I'm not lying. Actually, I got a new. I'm trying a new branding, a new style of shirt. So I put my logo on a new shirt. I was testing it out. Anyway, But
Nike's gonna be pissed.
yeah, aren't they? But the thing is, it's like I said, for me, I started on testosterone replacement therapy at 42. I'm 43. So I've been on it for 4 years, about 4 years now. And again, I don't take, there's a thing we call, obviously past the age of literally 18, your testosterone starts to decline as a man. Whole nother conversation, but putting all the things in the water. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar, how you feel about the whole idea that the government or everybody's trying to estrogenize, demasculinize.
Why do they put fluoride in it? They say they care about your teeth, but I don't believe that.
Yeah, no. So, but the point is a fact. This is not this part's not conspiracy, but the fact, whatever its reason behind it is, whatever it may be. But the fact is that like men's testosterone now versus like in the 70s going back to 50s, it's declined like literally like 50%. For where a young man's like a 26-year-old male's test is like literally that of like a 46-year-old male's in the same time for that generation. Or previous generations, what I'm saying. So the thing is like what people don't understand is with testosterone, it's the thing you need as a man in your body. And it's also something women need in their body. Both men have male and females both have testosterone and estrogen. It's your ratio of that genetically that determines kind of how you look, how much muscle you build, and yada, 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 how much body fat you hold on to. Again, I'm speaking for both men and women. The problem is now, though, is when you're talking about steroids, that's actually not the issue. The problem, in my opinion, is the SORMs, or selective androgen receptors, which, like, if you probably have a favorite Instagram female, you don't know male, because you have an Instagram female and she's got abs and a big
He's
butt. And
7'4". I'm like, bro, what
I
the
know who you're talking about. I know
fuck?
who you're
I
talking about.
know.
I know she's actually really hot. Yeah.
I
I don't think
know.
she's that, I don't actually think she's that tall personally, but I know who you're talking about. Brunette girl, right? Pretty hair. Um,
Her whole she's the tallest family on Instagram. Shout out if she's listening. Look, I'm 5'8". She likes short kings, she said. So
yeah.
go for it, baby.
She can wear you as a hat.
You can be
But
my Luke Skywalker. I'll be
yeah,
Yoda.
there you go. But more like Master Blaster, probably in your case, from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. But anyway, the problem is like these young girls and especially young females now are taking SARMs, and they can legitimately put their hand on a Bible or swear that they're not taking steroids, and they're not, because it's not steroids, it's SARMs. It's like saying, I swear to you, I do not drink vodka, or I do not drink, spirits. But it doesn't mean you don't drink, because you drink, beer. It's still alcohol. So the problem is, and these things are so easy to get, you can literally just go on Amazon, you can go anywhere, and they're called quote unquote research chemicals. But just what people don't understand is they're more harmful to you than actually steroids are. Drugs that are still used in the medical field, Oxandrolone, Anavar is these are things that are used for burn patients, cancer patients, HIV patients. That's what these things are used for, and they're literally muscle wasting preventative things to prevent muscle wastage. Some of the things that people are taking, like it's crazy. It's like something called check drops. It's basically a dog neutering medicine. Yet it's what Mike Tyson used to take before fights, and then like the thing he took right before he bit Evander Holyfield's ear off, the famous thing, because it literally turns you into a fucking crazy person. It basically spikes your adrenaline and your the way it works in your central nervous system. Again, a lot of people don't understand how strength works, why strength works, what is being strong. People have no actual concept of it. Personal trainers have, work. My wife is a manager at a gym. I see personal trainers on a daily basis who have no idea, and I talk to them. They have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. And you could be like, well, what makes you think so? Maybe I don't either, but the difference is I'm way stronger than you. So
My
until you
buddy Dan, who I hang out with, he's at my work. He's a personal trainer, and he gets into fights online with a lot of those personal trainers, the popular social influencer ones, for putting out like a bunch of BS. And that Joey Swole guy who's getting canceled, who'd always talked about gym etiquette,
Oh yeah.
Dan was supposed to come on here because he knew that guy back before he became famous, and he actually got fired from Gold's Gym for looking up girls' numbers and sending pictures of his dick to them.
That's not bad.
That's
Sometimes you
pretty
gotta
fucking bad, dude. That's horrible. That's I understand why there's a whole feminist movement out there now. Jesus.
just don't give that dude a computer. That's all. You know what I mean?
Just you're like the Catholic Church. Let's just move them to a whole other separate room away from the kids.
Yeah, at least take his computer away. If put a password on that bitch, you
Safe search.
know. But no, it's and I don't do that either. Like I'll give you I'll give you and anybody who's listening free advice. If you have a personal trainer and you're a female and they put the bands around your knees and make you just fire that person. They have no idea what they're fucking. If they're making you put booty bands and stuff around everything you do, they have no idea. And if they mention the word stability, if they mention the word functional, these are all words that if they are red flags. If you have a personal trainer and they say the word stability, functional, or they pull out a damn band to put around your kneecaps, you fire that person because they have no idea what they're talking about. The reality is I can write you a 6-month program, man, and it's boring as shit. It is, and it does not, but that's the thing, it doesn't get views on Instagram. It's not interesting to watch somebody do the thing. People go like, what about 3x3? What about 5x5? What about 4x4? You want the best program ever? You ready? Do 3x10 and do each set till you fucking cannot do another fucking rep. When people are like, I went to failure, like you went to where you physically couldn't do anymore. Highly doubt that. And I watch people work out and I see them go, and like for instance, they'll go from like 4x8 to 5x5. You know, you know what I'm talking about. And they'll do 5x5, but they could have done that weight for 10 reps. So you just shortchanged yourself a shit ton of reps. And it doesn't matter if you do 5x5, 3x10x10. It doesn't fucking matter. As long as at the end of that thing, the difference is how how I would program you versus you know, you're this or you're a friend of yours or whatever. I would say typically you have in your mind like a number of reps you like to do for a set. Like if you walked into a gym, right,
45.
and I say, look, I want to see you do bicep curls. And I'm like, I just want to impress me with bicep curls. You instinctively, everybody will do it if you're a gym guy or girl. You'll walk up to a weight and you'll pick up a weight and you'll start doing an X amount of reps, right? Some people go for that one heavy rep. They'll just pick up a weight and they're like, wah, wah. Some people will pick up the rep, like I said, they can literally do for like 2 minutes. The point is you got to get to some people, and I'm going to be blunt, it's for me, it's very boring to lift weights. I do not find it, this whole thing of doing like, or whatever the thing I'm doing for countless reps, it's very boring and it kind of doesn't work for most people. What you need to find is a weight that you go, I'm going to aim for 6 reps of it. Okay. And then what you're going to do with that weight is when you get to 6, do as many as you can past 6. And that's kind of it. And then repeat that. And then you're done. Leave, go home. That's it. And a lot of, but the thing is, that's not appealing. That doesn't like motivate certain people. You know, it doesn't, it's not, like I said, visually appealing on Instagram just to see someone doing rinse, wash, repeat, rinse, wash, repeat. That's what working out is.
Is that why you think some of these influencers or fitness influencers really trend because of the kind of fakeness in it? Is like
100%,
those
100%.
show workouts, I would say.
I mean, dude, what isn't that? What isn't what you just said? Take out fitness influencers and put in any other profession, and it's probably the reason those people do that thing.
I mean, I get the see. Look, I've been creating content for 5 years now. I mean, I probably would be a lot bigger of a show if I promoted my stuff more and actually wanted to deal with all the social media, like share their shows. I have one video on TikTok that's like 106,000 something views, and it doesn't make any sense, but it's just that proper hashtag. I never hashtag stuff, but the influencer game is pretty simple. You follow a bunch of people, you put up a bunch of posts a day. It can be a meme page, it could be anything like that. As long as it's somewhat relatable or somewhat I don't know, curious. It piques the curiosity. You'll start getting followers. And then people usually start off by buying, but that's so weird. Like if you look at how to buy followers and how to do all this, I went down the rabbit hole of that because there's a guy at my gym, 3 million something followers on Instagram, and past guests follow him. And I'm like, holy shit, like what the I know this guy. He comes into my gym. And then you check and look at his stuff, you go, oh shit, that's not real
Well, you
shit
can
either.
always tell because like I know a guy that like bought he has this online store and he bought like 15,000 followers or something like that, you know. And you can always tell because when you look at he'll put up the a post and it has like 4 likes. I'm one of them, you know. And if there is no way mathematically, statistically, you can have that many followers and get 4 likes that are
I
real
will
people.
be fair. I have like 2,000 something subscribers on YouTube, and I do get some videos get like 20 views. It just
No,
depends on
no,
the
no, no,
video.
no. I'm not that YouTube's very different. I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking about just in Instagram. You just happen to be scrolling through. You have this the math. 15,000 people to have 4 likes. It's like 0.000 whatever percentage. It's not mathematically feasible. Maybe once, but to happen over and over and over again. So you can look at all their posts and the most they have like 4 posts, 6 posts or 6 likes. It doesn't it that where you can see someone who has a legit 10,000 followers. They probably average about 600 likes per post, you know, if they're real followers, you know what I'm saying? Um,
I went on my personal Instagram and just started unfollowing people that weren't following me back on my personal page. I got the biggest dopamine hit from that. I was like, this, I feel fucking high, like so good high. You know what I mean? Because I'll never have them let them follow me back again. Fuck them.
yeah, yeah, dude. Oh my God.
Sometimes you just got to say fuck them.
There's some shit, man. I'll tell you. Fuck, I don't know. Yeah,
What do you mean?
like
Come on, spill the
I
beans.
no 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 no. I like I said,
Bitch,
when no,
bitch.
but and to clarify something, I did want to come on here for been a while now. Like I said, I literally, man, my week, I work every day, you know, 9 to 7, 9 to 8, and I'm just so tired when I get home, and then the weekend is literally mine and Sarah's time. Like
It's understandable.
they want us to go to what you call tomorrow, California, out to Riverside,
You're
California,
going
and
to
I'm like,
California Raisins?
no. And going to Riverside, California for an arm wrestling thing. And I was like, literally, I'm like, dude, I have 2 days in a week off, and I don't want to spend one of those days, um, uh, 2 days a weekend. Yeah, for
I know,
Saturday
but
and Sunday.
put the fucking thumb down. I count that as a finger.
Oh, but I'm saying 2 days a week off. I was going to say not including today because today's special. But you know, the last thing I want to do is on my day off is spend potentially like 8 hours in a car. You know what I mean? On my
Well,
day
you're
off.
about to
So
spend fucking 8 hours podcasting with me, so
yeah, that's
buckle up.
better than 8 hours in the car. You know.
I don't know. I'm pretty bad after like the second hour in a car. You're kind of like, God, just pull over, shoot him like Lassie.
What else am I going to say? I don't know, but I just think the state of everything that's in right now between it's really interesting to see the again
It's no
whatever.
different than what it was in the past. To be 100% honest with you, I've been diving into the 60s and 70s. We are experiencing the same shit in a different form. The underground press in the 60s and 70s is much like the left today. It's much like all the disinformation, all the misinformation, cancel, censorship shit. It's the same exact thing. The only thing that's added in is the technology is different, and it really sucks.
I agree and disagree. I agree to it depends on what we're talking about because I may completely agree with you. I the only reason I'm going to say I disagree because I don't know what you're talking about, but I disagree with the fact that it's not. This is different because of the. I'll tell you what's different is the escalation of it is different.
That's the social media aspect. That's the technology.
Yes, and that's correct. I agree with that. But I'm saying that's what's different. But in that, because of this escalation, you have it, yeah, because of the escalation, it's not now, it's no longer comparable. So do you get what I'm saying? Like you said, it's what happened before in the 60s and 70s. But yes, I agree. But you're agreeing with me saying the difference is the escalation because of social media. Yes. So therefore, because of the now overall magnitude of everything, it's not the same. And it's that's what makes it different, if that makes
Do
sense.
you think the end goal is just going to be it all fizzles away and then moves on to another topic to get mad about?
Depends on what we're talking about. I'm serious when I say like it's been a real and yeah, that's why I've been a little bit less on social media as far as doing posts and stuff. I make my posts for All Max and
Christ, you put up like 4 a day.
yeah, no, I put for a month. I'm supposed to put more than that. And again, I'm an honest person, so I never want to be disingenuous, and like I can't lie to people about like if someone messages me and say, "Hey, what do you think of this?" I'll be like, It's kind of garbage." But I do take this and or I do take that. And most of the time, or pretty much all the time, when I make a post, it's actually something I genuinely believe. But the reason I don't post as much on social media and is because I feel like I'm in a again, you're the one having me on here, so be prepared. I feel like my life or my thing is my life is kind of taking another turn as far as like when I first met you. I think I was, I was doing the Burberry job and I hated it and I left it and I become and you told me that you saw a change in me and we got better and all these things like that. And now it's been a minute since we've talked. We say here and hi hey and there on online or whatever, but that we've actually sat and talked. I feel like I'm doing myself a disservice, and I have to say this is if my message, and I'm struggling with it because I believe this, I'm going to say what I believe I should be doing, but I'm also saying I'm not doing it. And in doing this, am I doing it? I don't know, but it's about spreading what I believe is really happening, educating people uh, on faith, on God, and making people I'm just going to say is saving as many people as possible. And that's what I believe I'm being pushed more to. I'm not good at it yet. What's interesting is because I'm I want to talk to like a million people one time as opposed to saying this telling one person or a million people one time. And I don't know, and I don't think that that's the thing that should discourage me, but it does. I'm just being honest. So,
There's a number of friends of mine that are ex-cult people that left the cult and they're listening to this. Like, this is how it starts. This is how it starts. The charismatic Christianity's coming back.
again, maybe it is. Maybe they're right.
I'm
Maybe they're
not
wrong. I
religious. I'd
don't
rather
know.
just drink a beer. What you're talking about sounds exhausting.
Well, again, it kind of
Fuck.
is. It kind of is. But dude, I really feel for people, man. I do.
I do too. I do too.
I feel for the state of the world. I feel for everybody. Here's the problem, man. The problem is everyone just wants to be loved. Everyone wants to be loved.
Donald Trump seems like he wants to be hated by most of the world.
Everyone wants to be loved. And the problem is no one's loving somebody and everyone's falling short of everyone else's expectations. And I believe the reason is because the Bible says God is love. And the reason the world, society is pushing God away more and more and more. And you'll hear a statement say, love is love. No, that may be true, but it's not what I believe is the truth. In my truth, God is love. And if you keep pushing God away from you, let's just say hypothetically, I'm right. God is love. Push God away from the world, America, our lives. We know what's happening. We know what's happening. This is not a theory. We can see God, the national anthem taken out of school, and God we trust taken out. God will take it out. And what's happening? The world's losing love. People don't sit around and have dinner, like they did in the 50s or 60s. Even when I was growing up, I had dinner with my family. No one does that anymore. No one does that. And the reason why, and people don't even know why they're not doing it. You can blame it. You can blame it on social media, on distractions or whatever. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm wrong. But in my opinion, it's because the world is losing love. And they are trying to, or God, and let's use the word love to make it not so radically charismatic
What
Christian.
do you define love as, though? Because love to me is a G5 airplane.
It could be. But if if if
G5.
if you're taking the like I said, just for the site, but you say love is missing. Well, let's just think about that for a second. It's what I'm saying. If love is being the thing that's being slimmed down in the world, that's why you have so many people looking for justification or gratification or quote love from an extension, an outside source. Whether it's I don't know what I am because I don't feel love, so I don't feel love in this body, so I got to make my hair purple, or I'm a pronoun, or I'm a this, or I'm a girl, I'm a guy, I'm a this, I'm a that. Why? Because you're just trying to cling to the fact that you are not loved, that you don't feel loved, and you're looking for love from something. It's why kids dress up as Superman.
Why are you doing this to me? I wish I would have known you would have went this direction.
I told you. I
I
told
didn't know
you.
you were talking about this stuff.
I'm talking about everything.
Just
Everything.
leave the pink hair people alone.
I love the pink hair people.
I'm not getting shot because of you.
I love the pink hair people. And that's the thing. I'm nice to freaking everybody. I pray for everybody, man, because the whole world's fucking lost.
I think it'll be all right. I'm a misanthrope about obviously things change, but I don't think you can do anything about it. So if it's not in my lifetime, why should you care?
Well, I think, and I get it, and I totally get it, and it's a great defense mechanism, man, and it's the one I often
Yellowstone's
use.
going to take us all out anyway.
No, it's a great defense mechanism, and the one I often use myself. But it's like I think it's just on everybody's doorstep. I just don't know where we are in the. I don't know how much I don't know how much time. They're talking about by 2024 the U.S. dollar is not going to be accepted currency in what Russia, China, India. It's like
It's going to card. It's going to be awesome. You're really going to have no control over any of your money anymore. If you don't pay taxes, they freeze your bank account. They take all your money out of your account too if you make too much. China's social credit system rolling in hot.
No, and it's but again, that's what it is in the mainstream media. Go to what I've been listen, when I was 12 years old, dude, I didn't think about China. I wasn't thinking about facial recognition and credit cards or microchip. I didn't think anything about that. I just knew
You were ill informed. You should have been thinking about it. It's a big
no,
concern.
I just knew that was all going to be. I just knew that was all going to be. I just didn't know how it was going to be.
Well, social media exposes kids that now, which is a really big problem. I have an issue with that as well too. But also, I knew some of that stuff when I was a kid too. Not the facial recognition because I don't think it was 100% there yet. But I knew a lot about issues with China because I had a grandpa who served in the fucking war that would just sit you down and have these random outbursts of like China's coming and we're all gonna be fucked, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah, no, and what I'm saying is like he might be right. I'm not saying that that's not the case, but I'm saying it from a standpoint of what I'm looking at and a biblical standpoint where I'm going like, dude, they've been talking about one world currency and one world leader and everything like that. I've been prepared for that, like I said, since I'm a kid. So it's now you're seeing it. So whether you're blaming it on the democracy or the social this or whatever it is, politics or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's still happening the way I thought it was going to happen back then. And it's like, it's the crazy thing is I literally thought growing up that it was going to be like, this is like it's like an interpretation or no, it's literally like verbatim, like what's happening right now. Yeah, so we're going to see what happens next. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. I bet we're going to see
Well, shit. Have you had any positive stuff in your life going on?
I'm really strong. No.
That's it. That's the only positive.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm always positive, man. I'm like, what do I do? You know what I mean? Here's the thing. Why? And I told my sister this. She's like, how can you be a good like witness to somebody, if you don't have the results of your own testimony? Again, it's like it's not about Christianity or faith. It's gonna be about anything.
Sounded like it a little bit.
No, but I'm saying I am going to say about it, but it could be about wealth. You know what I'm saying? For instance, if you're like, dude, follow my Get Rich program and I'll get you rich. I'm like, cool. Can I see your bank account? And you're like, I have $400 in it. I'm like, well, dude, I have more money than you. Like, why would I listen to your advice? Or you're a big overweight person telling me how to get leaner, or a weak person telling me how to get stronger. You have to almost have the testimony in order.
Be like Gary V. You can think about it, or you could be about it, or you can do both. And I'm like, how? Just give me the tools. How? Stop telling me these cryptid messages. Just tell me how I do it.
Yeah, it's like what I say. I saw a comedian talk about. He's like, yeah, this motivational guy said, he's like, you gotta wake up at 5 a.m. every day. You gotta wake up at 5 a.m. every day. He's like, okay, I got up at 5 a.m. He's like, what the fuck do I do now? He's like, I'm just up. I'm just going to bed earlier. He's like, you got to tell me what to do next. So I get that. But what I'm saying is when you ask, is there anything positive in my life? Well, the positive thing is despite the fact or despite I'm not where I was a few years ago financially, like socially, or where I wanted to be, like doing what I wanted to do. None of these things. I have none of these things. In fact, if you went through a checklist, it sounds depressing as fuck. It's like, other than my marriage, is everything about my life is kind of shittier than it's ever been. You know, like it really is. However, on the flip side of that, it's like I'm probably, I don't want to say happier, but I'm like more, I don't know. It doesn't, nothing's changed as far as my own personal happiness. On the outside, what I'm saying, like finances and like I said, what I do for work, or my living situation, or the car I drive, what all these things used to all be better. And to sometimes you take those things away from a person and they're just like these are the things that define them. Well, you take them away from me, I'm like, I'm still me. So I guess that's my most positive thing, is that it hasn't made me fun, like,
Yeah.
so,
I don't think you're I think you're just looking at I think your expectations are you're becoming more aware of what you expected that you would be at this point, which is making everything around you seem more dull, if that makes sense. Like I'm 25. I mean, I do it too. I'm looking at shit. I'm like, God damn, my brother had a kid at this point, and I'm looking at a bunch of stuff like that. So it's like, I kind of
I just
examine
think
this.
like things like, I'm like, dude, my mom was so fat when she was my age. That's what I think of. I'm like,
You
holy
piece
shit,
of
like,
shit. You're a piece of
you know
shit,
what I
dude.
mean? Like,
You're a
yeah, it's
piece of
crazy.
shit.
That's what I think of that. Because I'm like, holy shit, when I was in Florida, my like, my mom was this age, and I was like a kid. And I'm like, imagine like, and I'm like, dude, I don't know shit, like, imagine like, I used to think that these people knew everything, like, nope.
I really hope that the information that's out there, that a number of these kids just become really, really paranoid and really start questioning more. That would be the best benefit from it, because I feel like you have to question every single thing a person says. Not like say like, oh, what did you mean by this or what did you mean by that? But just when you hear something, just kind of go, uh-huh. I spent so much time researching the Kennedy stuff and done various interviews. And then like I'm learning from other parts of history. I'm like, I was taught a one-sided view of it. And that's how everyone teaches it. You're only going to put your political notions in history stuff and try. I mean, if there was an event that happened and there was trouble and there was a punishment at the end and it was you and the person, your accomplice, you're only going to say the stuff that kind of makes you look less shitty than the person beside you. It's not like you're purposely doing it. It's just like you're going to leave out details that obviously are pretty probably important to the full scenario. And that's why body cams are.
The way you put in this microscope on the Kennedy stuff, have you done other stuff? Have you looked into, like, say, World War or Pearl Harbor by any chance?
I have looked into the Cold War. I've looked into MK Ultra. I've looked into a lot of intelligence operations, Fred Hampton's assassination, RFK's assassination, JFK's assassination, um, most of the 60s and 70s, a lot of the underground press stuff, the assassination of John Lennon. I've looked into a lot of these things where I can tell you
Oh
from
yeah,
a
well, I was watching that about your session at John Lemon thing, because I'm only because I'm a big, I'm not a Beatles fan, even though I do like the Beatles, but like I'm not like a historian of. But what I do find really interesting, I don't know how much you've dived into that, is do you know all the connections between like Rosemary's Baby, the movie Rosemary's Baby, and the look that up. Go, it's a fun, it'll be a fun thing, I think. If do you know, have you ever seen the movies Rosemary's Baby? Okay, so it is 1969. It is okay, and there's a lot of weird stuff in that movie. In fact, there's a opening scene within the first like 15 to 20 minutes of the film. The movie in essence is the original story of like the birth of the Antichrist. So that this woman, I can't think of her name right now, I'm too high. She a very famous actress at the time. She that her and her husband is her husband is a actor. They moved to New York. They get a really big place, everything like that. He's like a struggling actor. He's really trying to make it big in Hollywood. They meet an older couple. This older couple like befriends them and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, all these amazing things start happening to the husband. like he's getting plays, and he went from being the like the guy got he was the understudy, the lead character got something like something happened to him tragically, and he's like, dude, he has a broken leg and he can't do the thing, so he steps in for the lead role, and all of a sudden all this money comes around. What you find out
Are
is
you fucking giving me a Fandango breakdown? What are you doing?
yeah, sorry, it's one of my favorite movies ever. But anyway, Rosemary's
No,
Baby in the first 10, but it and then the woman ends up having the baby of Satan. It's fucking awesome. Like it's one of the it's weird because it's a movie you don't see anything, but it's it's almost like cerebral, like The Shining, which is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. The Shining, Rosemary's Baby, these like some of my favorite movies. And anyway though, but in the movie Rosemary's Baby, the there's like the first like 20 minutes or so, there's a murder that happens. A girl gets killed, and it's exactly the exact same spot. I mean, like the same on a curb, like the same everything where John Lennon was found in New York. And if you go
interesting.
down these things, fuck,
Because technically, the official narrative says they never found him on that curb. They found him inside the hotel on the lobby by the desk.
but you know what I'm saying? But there's photos of him on the curb. So it's really cool. And then there's weirdness, and two is in the movie. There's a neck the because it's on a sidewalk. There's like the girl's laying at, like right behind it is this like symbolic Volkswagen thing that that it's like something that's been used in the Beatles music and stuff. It's really it's cool. It may be all complete bullshit, but it's fucking cool if I think you're a guy like that,
Yeah.
think like that. But
It's like the JFK film that came out. They added a lot of stuff in Oliver Stone's JFK that's not necessarily real. It's just Hollywood, but it's really, really interesting if you're a viewer and you can catch those little things.
yeah, but I'm talking here. This is a movie like supposed to have nothing to do with, you know what I mean? It's just if you know, fuck, who's the damn? I can't think of the name. I'm so sorry, but the name of the Jamie, look that up. The name of
We don't have a Jamie. We're
damn
broke.
it. All right, shit. Get a Jamie. But the name of the Lawrence Polanski, maybe. And he was involved in the Sharon Tate murders. With Charles Manson.
Lawrence Polanski?
Roman Polanski. Roman Polanski. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I know like
Have you ever seen the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with
yeah.
Tarantino? You know, so that movie is fact and fiction, kind of just like, in
Yeah.
Glorious Bastards and everything
Yeah.
like that.
It's about the Manson murders, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So that guy is the guy who directed Rosemary's Baby.
Okay. Quentin Tarantino.
No. Quentin Tarantino directed
Oh, you mean the
the
guy that was in the Quentin Tarantino film is okay.
yes, the kid he's in Girl Next Door, he's Speed Racer. That kid, he plays that director, Roman Polanski. His real life wife in real life was murdered. Sharon Tate was murdered in that
Yeah.
Manson murders,
I
right?
just had the lawyer on for that family.
Yeah, so that's cool. I don't check that out. That's interesting.
We didn't really talk about the Manson stuff because he happened to interview Margaret Oswald and also got to know Jesse Curry. So both he's an JFK assassination person, but he's also what his whole thing is. He's on the opposite side of RFK, so he denied Sirhan's parole. He's fighting for that, and he also represents Sharon Tate's family when it comes to the Manson killings.
So Sharon Tate, Roman Polanski, her husband, whatever he was at the time, if I'm misquoting it, but her partner, and then he was the director of the movie Rosemary's Baby. So there's like a whole bunch of weird ties with Rosemary's Baby, the Manson murders, and John Lennon.
Yeah, see, I'm making a film right now, and actually, that's probably the best thing I got going because I got some really good news on it. I haven't shared it, I don't think, yet, because it just happened when we were recording this yesterday. But I'll tell you about it if you care. I was recently at my gym. A guy had come up to me probably about 5-6 months ago. And he said, are you Robbie? I was like, yeah. He's like, are you making a film? I said, yeah. Well, no, I said, no, I have a podcast. And he's like, but are you making a film? Someone told me you were making a film about like some JFK thing or something like that. I was like, yeah. I was like, but it's not even close to, I'm still doing recordings for it and all this type of stuff. He goes, well, I'm best friends with the guy who owns Wonder Film. And he goes, just look that up on your computer and I'll come back and talk to you on my way out. And I was like, okay. And I looked it up. They did Primal with Nick Cage on Netflix. They just did a bunch of Morgan Freeman movies, Mark Wahlberg's, and constantly in their production offices as well too. And he goes, yeah, that's my buddy's company. So just the other day, he goes, give me your phone number. I'm going to do a conference call. So it's scheduled for this coming up week that he wanted to sit down with the CEO guy because he pitched showed my show, showed all the interviews I've done with the JFK stuff, and to their whole production team. And they looked at it and then they were willing to talk about it. So that's a good thing right there. Usually they say no and then swipe it, but they're also looking like multiple other
So
things
what
too.
would
It wasn't
what
just me.
would their role be? I mean, like to fund it, to produce, like
I
what
mean,
would
funding could be a possible option. I don't really need a whole lot of that because I kind of got everything done. I mean, if someone wants to get me a plane ticket to Dallas, Texas, for the 60th, which is coming up here soon, I would like to do that, be able to meet some of these researchers in person that I've talked to, but also be able to take photos of Dealey Plaza. But the main thing for them is they can get me the music that I need, hopefully. And if they can't do that, it all depends on what this person, if he's just going to offer me advice or not. Their main thing is if it goes good, like I finish it and I send it to them, they'll be more than happy to get it on Netflix, HBO, any of those major screens instead of me just publishing it to YouTube. That's all I wanted. I said, this is an indie thing. You guys don't even have to pay me or anything. Just distribute it. And then we can talk about, depending on what the results are of it going out there,
sure, yeah,
we
get
can talk
covers
about all that
them
stuff
on the
as well
back
too.
end. Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's a
that's
that's a
cool.
that's a big thing. But the issue is there's 4 fucking JFK films coming out this year.
Yeah,
So I don't know if I
because of
want
the
to.
anniversary, you're saying?
Yeah, the 60th. David Mamet's making one, which will get a lot of publicity. Then there's another one coming out that's by the History Channel, which is the official narrative. And
So
then there's
that'll be the most bullshit one.
yeah, so then there's 2 other ones. One's about Lee Harvey Oswald, and another one's about certain things that were going on in Cuba at the time that happened to deal with the JFK stuff, which I think will get way less views because only people care about the assassination part to it. So I would think it's a great time to unload mine, or I should wait. But like I said, I don't know. That JFK stuff that has brought there's more connections in that than I could have ever realized, and that's why I'm more of a misanthrope. I mean, Manson's technically connected into that if you really examine it. I mean, MK Ultra is the big thing that kind of umbrellas all these together. Joyon West injected Jack Ruby with a flu shot for walking pneumonia. Now, there were 5 psychiatrists that saw Jack Ruby. Only one of them injected him with a fucking flu shot for walking pneumonia. And after that, he starts banging his head up against a cell door, screaming and talking about horrible visions of Jews burning in streets and his brother being legless. That's when he went crazy. In his court testimony, he states, they gave me cancer. I don't have long left to live. That's his famous court thing. Now, I can't prove to you what's in the shot. What I can tell you is that the guy who injected him with that shot was Joyon West. Joyon West was the same psychiatrist for Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber, same psychiatrist for Charles Manson, like where he was getting his drugs at. Operation Midnight Climax, where they were dressing up as hippies and drugging those people. That's Joyon West. So he denied that till his dying day. So Manson, for instance, he was getting charged for the Sharon Tate murders and all that. He was never there. He wasn't there was he
No, yeah,
wasn't.
yeah, of course, yeah.
So you got him on the thing that literally you could have got him on prostitution charges, drug charges, anything, but they picked him on something that had he could easily have gotten off if they didn't lie in his court. They committed perjury in his trial. The prosecutors, Vincent Bugliosi, all these people that have written monolithic books about the Kennedy assassination, saying that there's no conspiracy, they put a prosecutor on the defendant's team to sabotage the court case. Manson didn't take the court case seriously. They drew crosses on their forehead or swastikas and stuff like that. They knew they were fucked. And it's like, I know I'm not saying I'm defending Manson, but also as a human being, I believe in a right to a fair trial. And if you're an American citizen, you get that. And I'm like,
There's a lot of stuff though. I mean, I went down those a couple rabbit holes about Manson stuff and what the Helter Skelter thing actually was about. And it's like, yeah, I mean, again, it goes back to kind of what you were saying before. If you just teach your version of history, that's kind of what, and you just advertise that enough, that's going to be the new norm, or that's going to be the narrative, or that's
and
going to
look,
be the
Manson
story
was
people
fucking
tell.
nuts. I've seen that guy's interviews. That dude was out of his fucking box.
But
But also
again,
the
yeah,
evidence
but
the whole
what I'm saying,
purpose,
that
hold
what's
on,
the source?
the whole purpose of that rant I did was because Manson on parole was allowed to go to another country and survey land. And the judge denied it because he was like, "What are you talking about? You want to let him go to Mexico to survey land? Why is he doing that?" The whole of this whole story, not just the MK Ultra stuff. When you look at
I
when
was
you
dying.
when
My,
you when you look at Manson and really kind of what was going on with
oh,
Manson,
wait, real quick. If you pause that the way I lean back in my chair,
that'll
and
be
I
the
guess,
thumbnail.
dude, it'll me going like this. Like literally, I fucking die. I thought I died. I thought
Okay,
that was it.
so
Sorry.
with Manson, it's really important to understand is that the whole kind of more conspiratorial, but it's where all the evidence is kind of leading, is the fact that they did not arrest him when they could have arrested him, which is what the Los Angeles police said. They said that they were told to stand down. I had Brad Schreiber who interviewed those cops, and they were all told from higher authority to stand down, and no one chased down who that higher authority was. They knew where his farm was. They could have got him, but they waited until after the killings happened. So now you have to look at Sharon Tate and what her family was involved in and see if there was some type of transaction or business deal or something that was going on there. Because the story is this: Manson killed that family because the one guy would not accept his music that he was creating. That was the anger. But he had met him weeks later, and Manson and him, they shook hands, they waved, and they, whatever. They greeted each other. So they met later and didn't have an interaction. That was bad. It was good. Then why would he just so their example for why he did it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So that's the whole thing, is that the real crime in this is that if the government let this situation happen. Now look at the Kennedy assassination. Oswald, whether you believe he did it or not, doesn't matter. What matters is the fact that he was on a surveillance list for 4 years. You know why? He went to Russia, to another country, to defect. Damn right, your intelligence agents, whether he's an agent or not, are going to have a monitoring list on you. They're going to want to. This guy defected to another country to tear up his U.S. citizenship. He comes back to America. Okay. You're now possibly a threat to national security. They're going to watch you. They watched him for 4 years. They checked his mail. They did a bunch of things. They follow him around. They drop it the week of the assassination. Okay. The week of. Now, the Secret Service are supposed to be alerted to any threats to national security or the president's safety. That means anybody that's on that watch list. And Oswald was on there for 4 years, but the week of, they took him off. They had no idea who was up there. So somebody in this whole scenario, whether you believe Oswald did or not, there's evidence to support that he didn't either. But in this whole scenario, you start noticing that there's faults in this story. There's holes, there's lines. It's not conspiracy. It's not saying that this is a large orchestrated demonic plot. There's none of that. All I'm saying is that the official narrative could have been wrong and might be wrong and probably is wrong, but an investigation is done by humans and humans make mistakes. So the fact that people are willing to double down on that lie makes it equally as bad as the people that might have committed the crime. That's kind of like what I've learned in this whole situation, is that everyone loves the fucking story, the spectacle. But what about the truth? Do you get the truth ever? Do we ever get the truth? Probably not. And like, I've noticed this because you mentioned about me, what my interest in history. I was like, with all this, I've really learned about putting all these pieces together, and I'm more happy with what things are, not happy with things at how they're going, but I'm less stressed about it because I also realize there's not a whole lot of fighting against something that obviously through past history, like I mentioned before, has not changed.
Yeah,
It's the
it is.
same bullshit.
Yeah, it can feel
So
yeah,
you
it
got to
can you
laugh about it. It's
well,
awesome.
because if yeah, because you're the
We're fucked.
powerlessness, yeah, the powerlessness will make you go crazy. But again, it's the same thing you just said, that people like the spectacle. It's exactly the same thing we were talking about with the personal trainers on Instagram, and and personal trainers in gym. It's a cool people like would rather be almost like, this is not the right way, but it looks cooler than the actual way, but is more boring,
As long as I don't see that guy who's doing like a one arm hang raise and he's lifting a weight and he's going, stop doing cardio if you, and I'm just like, I want to kick you right in the fucking mouth.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. And again, it's the thing. There's people on the other side. I think doing pull-ups is great, but if you can't do pull-ups, you know what I mean. So, there's a lot of things where it's like, people talk about calisthenics versus free weights and all this kind of stuff like that, on which way is the best way to train. And usually the problem is people that are good at calisthenics are good at manipulating a small body weight, but their overall strength isn't that much because the weight they're lifting isn't that much. Hypothetically, yes, if you could get a big guy to do calisthenic work, that would be amazing because of his body mass, and get a small guy to lift heavy fucking weights. That would change his body structure and increase his body mass. So then if they want to get bigger, eventually the calisthenics will start actually making a thing again, because you're actually now, it's harder to do pull-ups when you're heavier. I mean, that's just it. Like I'm way stronger than I used to be, like way stronger. But pull-ups are very hard for me compared to what they were when I was 100, 65, 155 pounds. I fly doing pull-ups, even though like I'm way stronger than I am now. But if you, well, which yeah, that the lighter version's better at me than manipulating a lighter body weight. It's just kind of all it is.
I did pull-ups the other day. I haven't done them in forever. I always just do lat pull downs or something, but I actually did pull-ups. I did 14. I was done. I was like, I got to fucking pump off that. I was like, that felt great. My arms felt, tight.
Yeah, so if you can do 14 pull-ups or chin-ups or I prefer neutral grip. This grip is
That's
to
a
me.
lot easier. I can do a lot more doing that.
Yeah, that's anatomically the best grip. Well, because the problem is, again, a lot of people don't understand that pull-ups, and they're trying to do a back exercise. Pull-ups is really like a rear delt trapezius exercise. Like a lat pull down is not actually building your lats. Your lats don't. Okay. And when people do this, like row, when they do lat rows, that's not your lat. That's your trapezius muscle. This motion is a pull down, but most people do this like with and that's actually a rear delt exercise. Again, as people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But
I refuse to do rows.
rows are for your traps in your middle mid back.
I think
It's
my
not.
traps are all right.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
no, but like for you, if you can do 14 pull-ups, what I was
Like an
going to say
eagle.
is if you can do 14 pull-ups, it would be advantageous to you to, either get a weight belt and do like some, like add 10 pounds, 20 pounds. You will get muscular, man, like really fast by doing weighted pull-ups. And the moment, like you'll see a huge difference in your muscularity. Like you're
I think
just
I'm doing all
overall.
right. God damn.
No,
Like,
you'll
what are you
see,
trying
but
to say?
no, I'm not trying to say anything, but I'm saying you'll notice if you
You
can do
might be
pull.
stronger than me, but I can run faster than you because my knees are hollow. Makes me aerodynamic.
I can't run very fast at all. Not
My
even
knees whistle when I run.
my ass does.
What? If you can get the answer to one conspiracy, what would it be?
I think I have them all. Like I
But
literally.
just one, like publicly known.
Oh, you mean like that I would know, or everyone gets to know?
Everyone know, not you, just you selfish
Oh, I
bastard.
thought you meant me. The Earth. Yeah,
The flat Earth thing, really?
that would be the most important. Yeah,
Okay.
100. Not even. I mean, it depends. If you okay, do you consider like the existence of God something would be conspiracy theory?
Not really.
But you know what? But it could be. You know what I mean? Like it could be.
I mean, something like the existence of UAPs or aliens.
No, don't care because the flat Earth thing takes care of all that.
Yeah, but doesn't your God thing go out the window if aliens are real?
No, not necessarily. Okay, I mean, no. But again, I don't believe they're real, so it doesn't really
Okay.
matter.
But they had a UAP hearing.
Okay. They had a 9/11 hearing, a JFK hearing,
Oh
they
God.
had a lot of fucking hearings. You know what I mean? So
But I ain't hearing shit.
yeah, I can't hear anything either. No, it'd be the Earth, yeah, because again, that would prove once and for all that everything is full of shit, and I'm like, that's all I care about. Yeah, and then it would change everything. It would change everything, and I really do agree. I really do believe in my heart that it will be exposed one day, and believe the Bible talks about it in the Book of Revelation. It's called the Great Deception will be unveiled, and I personally believe that's what they're talking about, because you can't say the great deception is believing in God or the devil, because there's plenty of people that believe in that. You know what I mean? Whether they're right or wrong. Again, whether they're right or wrong, there's plenty of people that believe in that. But there's plenty of people you can't, some people, Christian or theologians actually are arguing that might be the Catholic Church or something like that. But there's plenty of people that think the Catholic Church is corrupt, and there's plenty of people that think the Catholic Church is wonderful.
I think there's
So
evidence to support that it's pretty fucking corrupt.
I'm not saying there isn't, but what I'm saying is that there's billions of Catholics in the world. You know what I mean? If everyone knew, like if those people knew, there wouldn't be per se.
Yeah,
But
but don't
if
you think people just don't even though they're confronted with the correct information and what the truth is, they're just not going to believe it because of the fact that they might be on that supporting team. It's like everyone not admitting Biden has the worst fucking mental problems in the history of the world. And somehow people are like, his family over vacation over the holidays on Christmas or whatever. They're like, yeah, we're going to have him run again. I was like, you guys suck. You guys really that is your dad, that is your husband, that is your grandfather, and you're gonna prop him up. He fell asleep during the Maui thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, the answer is 100% yes, because that's exactly what I said before when I was saying earlier. And you said, oh, change it to Cracker Barrel. It's because, yes, it's because people will defend their own narrative. And I like to try to be the person who goes, why do you think I'm wrong? Okay, that's good. I get that. And again, I'm not saying to not defend your narrative. I'm saying that's cool. The problem is if you really, really want to know the truth, you should be able to put this narrative or your belief under whatever light. If your girlfriend only looks good in the dark, well, you can't be mad at the light when you turn it on. But you got to be mad at yourself for just staying in denial that long. But if saying, you know what I mean? If you're like, dude, are the carpets dirty? If you got piss and shit from the dog or cats all over the carpet and you just never turn the light on, it doesn't mean that the piss and shit stains aren't there. You just can't see them. So, but that's what a lot of people, you have to be able to turn that light up bright on your own thing and then go, okay, let's talk about it. But no one's willing. I don't say most people aren't willing to deal with that because they know in that thing, their thing will be exposed and then they're going to feel a certain way. I'll tell you what they're going to feel: afraid. They'll feel afraid because back to what I said earlier, the world's missing what? Love. But there's only all emotions come from two roots. The source is love or fear. You either do something out of love or fear. I don't care what it is. Give me an example. I'll put it down to love or fear. Even though, yeah, but I'm short. And because you're afraid that you're not going to be accepted because how tall you are. Oh, but I'm this, or yeah, you're afraid I'm overweight. Yep, you're afraid that you maybe can't lose weight, or you're afraid that you don't have the willpower to do it, or you're afraid it's going to be a painful thing. I want to get a new job, but you're afraid that if you do that, you could possibly be unemployed, or or you're doing the other thing. You're doing it out of love. You're doing it because I'm fucking want to help you. Why? Because I love you, man. Why do you get on the show right now? I got nothing else to do. No, because you're my friend and I want to help you and I enjoy our conversation. It's a act of love. I'm not no, if I did it
I'm not in
because
need of any help. I'm fine.
no. I'm just saying I want to talk with you. But if I did it because I was afraid, and there's plenty, and I could have done it like this. Maybe you're not going to be my friend anymore, or maybe you're going to think less of me, or then I make a decision. But either way, that decision is made of love or fear. The root,
And I thought you were hating me for a while. You've been bailing on me so many fucking times. I'm like, damn.
No, and I feel bad, and I always tell you that. That's why I leave you in voicemail because I'm like, dude, look, man, it's fucked. It's just, like literally when you messaged me and you're like Sunday, I was like, listen, I'm actually maybe off work on Friday. I just needed to confirm and and that was it. And I was like, if I am 100%, I told Sarah, no matter what we do, 100%, I'm going to talk with Robbie in the morning. And again, I made the decision out of the love of wanting to do it, not because I'm afraid that it's going to jeopardize a relationship.
I just need to fly out to Vegas. We need to go hit up some casinos.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I want to party in Vegas now that I'm above the age. Last time I was there, I was like 15. Like now I want to go there and be like, let's do it. No strip clubs though. I don't like that.
That's gay. Yeah. Why do you got to be gay about it?
What? I said no strip clubs.
Yeah, that's gay. Why you got that's the
How is
only
that
place
being gay?
Because gay people probably wouldn't want to go to
feel
strip clubs
comfortable
either.
being around other guys while watching naked women. I just feel like
I'll sit at a different fucking table. Fuck.
Bumping boners at the fucking bathroom. Like, come on now.
Okay, I don't know who you're. I guarantee you, if we went
the
to the
hallways
bathroom,
are never big enough.
I'm pretty sure I'll make you comfy. I'll give you a fucking lap dance. I don't give a shit.
Get the fuck away. No.
Don't be gay.
Don't be gay.
Yeah, don't be gay, and you better tip me.
I just want to go to the casinos and just kind of like look at all the people that are like passed out on the slot machines, just ringing again and ringing again, cranking that dial, crank it. They say that's why they pump in oxygen, not just because of the smoke that's in there. But I heard they lessened up on the smoking in casinos, which is kind of upsetting.
A lot of them have either. It's funny because I don't. Of course I'm a big cannabis advocate, but I don't like cigarette smoking. It's funny when you do go into the casinos or because there's certain casinos or certain sections of casinos now where you can't smoke, and it's when you walk into them, some of them you're like, oh shit, especially like the older ones, you're like, oh fuck, like it. I forgot what that smell was like.
I like that.
What, the shitty like beer and pussy smoke?
I just like the smell of cigarettes. I don't know what it is about. I watched Oppenheimer, the 3 hour fucking movie that, dude, let me tell you this story. This is a good story. I went to go see Oppenheimer with my training friend. His name's Dan. And the only seats that were left were the handicap ones. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to get the handicap seats. Like, it's fucked up if someone comes in their handicap. He goes, Robbie, how many times? There's like 10 rows of handicap seats. Like, you'll be fine. Just get the handicap seats. We'll do that because we're not going to be asked to move or anything. I was like, all right. So I bought the handicap seats. We're sitting in there. Dumbest decision I've ever made in my entire life. Of course, there's going to be fucking handicapped people there. It's a film about the whole nuke creation. What's the target audience? Damn vets, damn handicapped people. Literally, there's like 5 handicapped people that come in right as soon as we sit down. I looked over, I go, Jesus Christ. And at this point in the theater, and I will say this, it's fine because the movie's 3 hours. By that time, I lost my buzz. I did 4.99s, the little 99 bottles, and then one of the little moonshines to wash it all down. And then I was getting ready to watch Oppenheimer. It's fun for me getting drunk and go to the movies. And so 5 handicapped people came in, and I go, Jesus Christ. So the anxiety was going off the charts. And then literally everyone's in their seats, every seat's filled up, and this person walks in, no leg, just one, with a crutch. And I looked at Dan. I was like, dude. I was like, we got to get up. We're such pieces of shit. He goes, Robbie, we only get up if it's a double amputee. And I just started busting out laughing. He found his seat. He went over to it, but no, that was just funny as shit to me.
Dude, here's what's fucking weird about that whole story, right? The exact same thing happened to me, but at a Cracker Barrel. And the fact that you mentioned earlier Cracker Barrel, I don't know why, but I go into Cracker Barrel. I literally took one, but I always get the same thing: country fried steak, and the comes with the muffins and shit. Dude, I had like 2 bites of the fucking muffin, and dude, instantly I'm like, I'm shitting my pants 100%. Like, no, it wasn't like, normally I walk around 60-40 every day, like just normally, you know what I mean? Like right now, 60-40 that I might shit my pants at any time, but like this time, yeah, but this was 100. Like, I hate the thing 110%. Like, dude, I'm 130% sure I was going to shit myself, right? Because it would have been 100%, probably an extra 30 coming out down my leg. And so I go into the fucking the Cracker Barrel, and it's like 1 urinal, 1 stall, 1 handicap stall. And so I open the door, and of course, like the handicap stall is always cleaner, and I'm just like, I got to sit down and take a shit. I'm like, who the fuck? There's no handicap people coming in here. Dude, as soon as I sit down, I'm just like shitting water. I hear like someone standing outside, right? Or like someone outside. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, cause I'm like, why are they not leaving? I just hear someone outside of the thing, and I'm just like sitting there, just like fucking, I don't want to like American Pie when fucking, what's his name shits himself, like, or the Dumb and Dumber kind of shit, I don't want to be that loud, but I'm like, fuck, this
You
guy is
gotta
not leaving.
repeat the person outside the stall stuff. You froze on my screen, and then it called into American Pie, and then
Oh no, I'm just saying. I just heard I'm shitting, and I hear someone, in the candy cap stall, and I hear just someone outside, and they're not leaving. I'm like, fuck, because he's fucking waiting for. Of course, this asshole's waiting for the handicap stall too, And whatever, I done shit. I'm coming
God
out.
forbid he's handicapped.
I
He's an
open the
asshole.
door, and dude, this motherfucker, yeah, and like one leg is real chair, like it wasn't one of them fucking rented chairs and shit. I was like, fuck, dude, he had a bandana on, and I was like, I had to like fucking limp, so I'd be like, excuse me, and I was just saying, it was just funny. It was just because you said a shit
Yeah,
story and it was a Cracker Barrel.
yeah, good story.
I gotta piss.
I've never eaten at Cracker Barrel before, but
Are you serious?
no, we'll pause
Oh,
right here. And
all right, hold on a sec.
no, I've never eaten at a Cracker Barrel before. The one time I went, someone had given me Adderall. It was the first time I've ever taken that before. So I ended up
Yeah, that won't
sitting
make
for
that's
2 hours on the rocking chair.
I was gonna say that's not the best appetite starter upper.
I was not. It was right back after a concert. I was on our way back, and my buddy's like, "You have ADHD, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You ever Medicaid?" I was like, "I've never taken anything for it before." And he was like, "Here's an Adderall." It was like when I was like 16,
Was it
and
the do you remember if it's a rare one or the time release one?
I think it
Like
was
a
a
blue,
time. It
like
was. I think it was a time release one
because the
because
blue pill is it's like a blue like tablet, And the other one's a capsule. The capsule is a timer. I used to get prescribed it. Yeah, it was
It
fucking
was the
awesome.
capsule. I couldn't tell you the color. I just remember it was a capsule. But I took it, and then I think we went to a Cracker Barrel like an hour later. We're driving, and we stopped there. Everyone wanted to get food and everything, and then I ended up just sitting on the rocking chairs out front and listening to the world make its beautiful sounds.
Yeah, dude, Adderall is the shit. It's I used to have a prescription for it, and it like, man, that stuff nukes your appetite. Like, I was down to like 100 and like 38. Yeah, 138 was the lowest I ever was when I was taking Adderall. I was like fucking so skinny. I was really good at Halo though. Like,
Mm.
I was really good at Halo back in the day with Adderall.
I would do it. I've thought about because I've been doing a lot of ADHD podcasts. I mean, I would like to not do it just to try and work with what I thought was this was my personality. Turns out it was more ADHD stuff that's kind of going above, and kind of ADHD kind of turns up the knob on your personality. So certain things that would probably be a lot easier for people to deal with me, just my personality, but it's ramped up by the ADHD, which makes it a little bit too excessive, like the compulsive stuff, a lot of that type of stuff. I thought about taking it and then just because I want to take a break at 1500 to work on my film, probably still end up doing a couple podcasts here and there. But I wanted to kind of transition, but I also wanted to try that and see if I could put my mind to something. Like my artwork got pretty good, so I
Dude,
thought,
it's the best thing ever. Like, the last time I took one is when I was leaving Singapore, right? I'd lived there for 10 years. And my wife and I, wife lived there for 8, and we lived in our apartment, our current place for like 3 years, 4 years, whatever it was. And we had to move back to the States, and it was like, those, anytime you have those deadlines, you're like, well, it'll take it, you always like over or underestimate how long moving or packing is going to take, no matter what it is, whether it's a day at the airport or moving your apartment.
time blindness.
And yeah, and so I remember we were sitting there, and my wife was like overwhelmed, and there was a buddy of mine. He was at work. He was talking. He had Adderall, and I was just like, dude, you said. He's like, yeah, and he's like, I'll give you so I took a 30 milligram time release, dude. I told Sarah, just take a nap, babe. She woke up, dude. Everything, like the curtains were fucking folded, like her socks were fucking, all the lint was taken out of them. It was amazing. There's Sarah. She just walked by.
Hi, Sarah.
There's the champ. There she is. Sarah, you look like Misha Tate in this lighting.
Misha
Misha
Tate.
Tate. Yeah, the UFC fighter.
I'm more of a Mariah Carey fan myself.
But no, but I'll tell you, man, what Adderall is basically, like, you talk about steroids. Adderall is steroids for your mind, man. That shit makes you just better. I think if
Yeah,
I
why
would
do
take,
we not have a negative connotation on Adderall if people, but we have negative connotation on steroids?
because of the media. That's all it is. Everyone is a byproduct of, if you grew up just like religions and stuff like that. If you grew up in a religion or a society where they tell you, tomatoes are evil, or pig is bad, or pork is dirty, or alcohol is bad, or marijuana is bad, or whatever it is, if you're ingrained in that since you're a kid, it's why there's fucking things like as shitty as racism and all these things, because it's ingrained in movies and television, but it's all ingrained. And if you're an MK Ultra person, or you understand this, the fucking television was invented by the CIA, you understand why you feel that way. That's the reason why you feel that way, or I feel that way, or whatever. Because then it's the thing we got to do is to basically, do you have the balls, or do you have the willpower, whatever the word is, to re-educate yourself to live like, to I don't know, do the right fucking thing, despite of what you're told to do, you know?
I don't think a lot of
Sometimes you,
people can come to grips with that their whole life might be a lie.
and again, that's fucking scary. That is scary, man. That's scary.
I don't even think I know that. Like, if you could be given the truth and you could just scream it at people, like 100% definitive, this is the answer to this, this is the answer to this is the answer to this, but only you can have it. Like, if people were like, if someone, whoever had that information, whatever you want to say, whatever being in space was just like, here's all the answers if you want them, there'll be a large amount of people that go, nah, and go take the whatever, the blue pill. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
some people
oh,
that want the red
100%.
pill.
100%, man. But I mean, there's times where I even think that about myself, where I'm like, when they, the line in Matrix where he's, ignorance is bliss, and he's eating that steak. I know this isn't real, but ignorance is bliss. And I think about those kind of things, and I'm like, do I win? And I'm like, no, it's still better to know. It's better to know. And the reason you wouldn't want to know is out of fear. Again, that's what I said before. That's the only reason you want to know. Fear that maybe this is how scary it's going to be, or just fear that what your belief system was wrong all this time, or who knows, but it's always because of fear. It's a fear thing. It's just the same reason why, like, I have friends that believe basically the same thing I do, almost, about like God, but they call it the universe. I'm just throwing that out there in the universe. Good vibes, man. Good energy. The universe. You know why?
Yeah, but
Because
those people are always the most aggressive.
but the universe doesn't hold you accountable. That's the difference. There's no accountability to the trees and the moon and the this, whatever. But if I'm right and there's God, then there's accountability, because you could be doing right or wrong. Again, it mostly comes down to what you were saying earlier. Why do people think a certain thing? Because media or whatever you've been watching has influenced you to a degree where this is, like, when you hear a word like, let's just say, you hear a word like God or Christianity, instantly the X amount of thought processes go through your head, either positive, negative, rejection, acceptance, right? I wonder what those things are. If I say the word homosexual, or I say the word, communism, or I say the word Republican, or whatever, conservative, liberal, as soon as I say these words, cheeseburger, you're going to have these fire. Your mind is going to fire with thoughts, and you're going to have whatever connotations based on a collective thing of memories, realistically, is what it is. There's a line in a movie, Her, with Joaquin Phoenix, and it says, the past is just the memories we tell ourselves, or the past is just the stories. Sorry, the past is just the stories we tell ourselves. And and that's a really profound thing, because I know for me, like, I've told a story, that happened to me when I was 20, 19, I don't know. And when I'm telling the story, if I could literally maybe put on goggles and see it happening in real time, maybe for the most part, it is what it is. But you end up telling a story, and then the subsequent story isn't the original story, but it's the phone game, but with your own history, which is why you can talk about maybe a first date that went bad, or a first date that went good, and it's actually way worse or way better than it actually really was, because of your natural ability to embellish a story. Or maybe it's boringer because of your inability to embellish a story, depending
The
on that
gift
person.
of gab.
Yes, I believe I have that, which is what makes
I
me
know you've said
fucking,
it last time you were on.
yeah, I think I do. Because I can talk to people. I can literally talk to people. What's interesting is the same people, like, whatever. It's weird, man. It's like every time when I try to interact with people, Sarah says it all the time. She's like, Jason, you always make people smile. You always make people laugh. And I so I'll be honest, I'm not doing it like, I'm not walking into fucking, the vitamin shop going like, all right, here's my fucking one liner, Jerry Seinfeld style. I just walk in and I start talking to people, and whatever, and someone says, literally, man, I mean, I'd say probably 9 times out of 10, and I hate saying these things because it sounds like I'm being a bragging asshole, but like 9 out of 10 times, and I take a lot of, not pride, but value in it, where someone goes, dude, you made me laugh today, man, or you made my day. I needed to hear that. You gave me a laugh. I needed that today. And Sarah's always like, you always make people smile, Jay. You always make people laugh. She says all the time. And uh, you know, she's just the byproduct of, she just gets to hear my shit more than anybody, But we do. We Sarah and I laugh. We laugh all the time. I mean, most of it's just when I'm naked, um, but we laugh all the time. And I think that's just the secret to any good friendship. Or, you know what I mean? And that's what a marriage is a good friend, to make the person laugh, make them, they enjoy. Laughing is fun. It's enjoyable, and again, we're probably friends because we've made each other laugh at times, and some of our probably best memories are the things that made us laugh, or the things that made us happy, and it is. And like, there, yeah, we'll talk about deep shit or whatever, but the reality is, most of the time, like, or your friendship or your relationship as a person is like, dude, does that person make you laugh? Guarantee the people make you laugh, they're the people you like hanging around with most.
Yeah. I mean, why would you be around people that make you upset?
Well, not even upset. You don't have to, but I'm saying there's a lot of colors in that spectrum. I'm talking about, there's people that maybe, you have great conversations with, or, you can have a really depth, JFK conversation, something with you that sparks your interest, or I can talk about arm wrestling and working out. But reality is, the people I enjoy being around the most are the ones that make me laugh.
I'm trying my hardest to make you laugh, but I don't know what's funny anymore.
Show me that tiny dick.
You threw me up. You threw me through a Bible loop. So now I'm in this awkward phase of trying to not self panic.
Yeah, you should. Honestly, everybody should. I mean,
Can we recycle?
it's
Will the world be
it's
okay if we
imminent.
recycle?
Maybe we'd have to recycle all of us. That's the thing. I actually think that is what's going to happen. We're going to be the ones
I
that get
didn't mean that. I
recycled.
meant just like throw a bottle
Oh,
in the
throw
proper
cans away
trash
and shit.
can.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'll put this. If you live in California, you get fucking 18 cents for this
I'm
or
about to
some
say, yeah,
shit.
that's a good bottle. I think I
Yeah.
get 5 cents for this.
Yeah. So like, I forget what. I think it's
It
California.
makes my
Where?
hands look bigger when I hold this can.
Yeah, it does. What kind? Is that a normal size can?
Yeah, it's a soda can.
Hmm. Yeah, big hands.
See, it's even like with my vape. Take my vape. This is like a decent size. Like
It's the size of a car battery. No, I'll tell you, man. Yeah, you
the
should
only
be
thing that doesn't
panicking.
make my hands look big is this fucking iPhone.
I thought you were gonna say the
The
this
13.
fucking this fucking dick.
I know some people that hold two hands with their phone like this. I'm like, I could just do one. I mean,
I
I
don't
could
know.
palm a basketball, so
I got like an iPhone too. Mine's really old. I need an upgrade.
like it when you make your whole apartment smaller.
Yeah, I no, but what I was saying is, yeah, no, you should be panicking. Everybody should be panicking. You should be um yeah, I don't, I think sometimes because there's things I shared, with people, and like for you, I kind of I guess I would be doing it to scare you, but it's just make you aware, and this
You'll be
at
around
least,
longer than me anyway.
yeah,
At the rate
um,
I'm going, I'm hitting either the Clinton kill list, or I'm hitting the Disney World kill list, or I'm hitting somebody's JFK kill list.
yeah, you could. I don't know. I feel like I don't make enough money to get anyone to care anymore, so I can just say the Earth's flat and talk about the gays, and I'm just fine. You know, what I mean, it's cool.
I don't think I think you should start your own. Do you still doing that other podcast?
No, like I said, just time wise, man. That's why, and I'll be honest. Like I said, the more I'm away from social media, the more peaceful I am. And again, that's just me. Some people love it. Like, some people you can watch a movie and it's just like, yeah, that was cool. I can look over, you can watch the same movie, you got a fucking tear in your eye, like, dude, fuck, that really got to me, and neither person, it's something that just does a thing. And like Sarah and I, we watched the movie Moneyball. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Moneyball with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
And I remember the very first time watching that, I was on a plane to Sydney, Australia from Singapore. And I never saw it. And I watched it on the plane. And, I'm just by myself watching on that little, screen in front of your, that's the back of the person's seat. And dude, I'm watching this fucking movie. I'm like fucking sitting there like choked up and shit. That movie like got to me. And I don't know why, or I mean, I guess I do know why in certain respects, but I just think there's things like that. There's things that you're gonna see that get to you, sometimes good, sometimes bad. But if it's get to you, and like I said, it takes away your peace. In my opinion, you just got to do everything you can to avoid that thing. And it's why I don't do podcasts and stuff anymore. It's why I don't time wise, I didn't do the other one because again, it becomes unpeaceful. It becomes unfun to me. I don't enjoy even like I kind of speak candidly, but again, because of the respect of being on your show and you don't even give me these whatever, I know these things, and I feel like I'm treading on eggshells, and you're like, you're on eggshells. You said gays and pussy for 15
So
times.
you don't have to tread on eggshells. It just some certain things you can't talk about. But I'm happy to put it just on Spotify if you wanted to go into those
No, no,
things.
no, man. But I'm saying, but even that in itself, if you don't see the problem with that,
There is
I
a problem, but there's nothing I can do about it. You got to
no, no,
play
no,
by
no,
their
no, not
platforms.
you, not you. I'm saying Earth. If you don't see the problem with what being just able to freely talk about whatever you want to talk about, like it's insanity. It's insanity. It's
Yeah, I mean, it's a problem. I'm a big person when it comes to censorship, and I've learned from a lot of academics feel the same way, but also a lot of academics that don't. It just depends on who's getting what censored. Like a lot of these people, skeptics I've had on my show, a lot of them put out stuff all the time that talk about like misinformation and this I can spot the tips to spot misinformation on the internet. I've stumped plenty of those guys on my show, but they're going around. They're the top skeptics, people that have been on Rogan, but their points are half points. They're half truths. They don't go into the full thing. Another example, Michael Shermer was on my show. I've invited him back on to debate me about the Kennedy stuff because he mentioned it when I had just barely even gotten into it. We're not even really an episode in. I think I did a recording on it, and that was it. And he mentioned something to me that makes a lot of sense on paper, and that's that the Secret Service were warned about Lee Harvey Oswald, which was true. But he says that the president gets multiple death threats a day. So obviously, this, they just toss this one aside. That makes a lot of sense to the average viewer who doesn't know anything. What he doesn't mention, and it's what I've commented on his threads, and he's blocked me, is because I talked to federal Judge Thunheim of the Assassination Records Review Board, who was in charge of declassifying all these documents. After Oliver Stone's film came out, they started going through which ones could be classified or not. He requested for the prior death threats on JFK, and 2 weeks after requesting them, the Secret Service destroyed it. Why would they do that? Why would they destroy documents that a federal judge requested for? Now, this guy wasn't conspiracy. He believed it was Lee Harvey Oswald, but that's an ethical problem. Shermer doesn't put that in his new book that he just did. He doesn't talk about it. He doesn't mention it in any of the points. So it's like they're giving you half truths, but they're trying to tell you to disable misinformation and conspiracy talk with logic. And the logic is bullshit. The logic is half logic. The logic is what they want you to believe in. So I'm just at this point now understanding that everyone has their own bias and they're trying to convince everybody else to believe in their bias because their bias is right. So I'm skeptical on everything.
No, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. Here's the problem, though. The only problem that I see in your logic, someone's kind of got to be right, or at least something that part and parcel what everyone's saying, there's going to be right in probably all of it.
Why does it have to be someone has to be right if nobody's going to want to change their perspective to believe in the other person's anyway? Most you should do is be able to hear somebody out.
I 100% agree. That's what I say. But didn't I say that earlier? I'm like, I don't really care. I just want to be able to go here. Let me tell you why I believe you about this. You tell me why you believe, and we can literally, as cliche as it is, but agree to disagree. And I mean, I for me, like I said, nothing bothers me. I don't have that issue with people like, yeah, but what if people wanted to talk about God's not real? Please tell me, educate me, please, because I'd love to have that thing. The difference is, it's very difficult for people to come into a conversation with a legitimately open mind. I'm not saying I'm not even, not guilty of it, but it really is because, for instance, and I go, you give, I'll bring in the flat earth thing, and I give an example of something. Yeah, sanity. And I give an example of something. If you
Oh, look
use,
at that shit.
yeah, watch out, you might shit yourself. If you
I need a
use,
water or something. I'm dehydrated as hell right now.
maybe, yeah, it looks all right. But if you use,
Looks fucking good is what it looks like. God damn.
shut the fuck up, listen to me. If
Like
you
a
use,
python. I'm kidding. Yeah, come on. Give me a compliment, you son of a bitch.
I said it looks good. You look good.
Okay. If you use
Um,
what? Damn, you're making me thirsty. Drink it. Fuck, asshole.
if you use the your okay, say we're having a debate, like I said, on like flat earth versus round earth, whatever. Like I wish I had a different example just to but if you use, let's just say it like this. Like here's the thing. I'm gonna make it super personal. If I say I don't believe in the Bible, okay, or and I'm like, I don't believe that the Bible is the word, or why should I believe the Bible? Let's say it like that. And if you say to me, well, the reason you should believe the Bible is the Bible's the word of God, you're an idiot. But you're like, but Jason, hold on, don't you think the Bible's word? Yeah, I do. But I would never say the reason that you should believe me is because of this book. That's the difference between how I like to approach I hate to use argument, but a conversation as such. I don't want to have to use my belief system as a measure of my own belief system. I want to tell you why my belief system's right without you, by using basically a placebo, that we both go, okay, we're both on that placebo, correct? I think, okay, it's not, but the problem is most people don't even want to take the placebo. I hope that makes sense because that's pretty deep and I'm really high.
Kind of. I don't. How do you get people to want to take the placebo?
You should want to. I'm saying just by default, saying like, you know, I want to go on. I want to go to do our picnic. I want to do it on Sunday. You want to do it on Saturday.
Yeah,
All right. We make an argument for why Saturday's better, why Sunday's better. But what I'm saying is, if I'm talking to you, let's meet maybe on Friday, you know, but if I'm talking to you and in your head, you're like, there's no way I'm not having the picnic on Sunday. It doesn't matter at that point. And most people can't get that part out of their head to even be able to meet at a placebo or a middle ground to go, hey, this is the conversation.
fair.
And do you get what I'm saying?
I do. But my brain kind of focused and you swallowed weird when you were talking, and I thought you were about to choke, and then immediately I go, this is at the point when I get really high, when I start going, I forgot how to breathe, and then you have a fucking panic attack.
I only do that at night.
Why at
But
night? Like a werewolf?
maybe, yeah.
That would be the worst superhero ever. That at nighttime he forgets how to breathe. Think about it. Think
Yeah, it's
about
not
it.
a very stick to podcasting and JFK conspiracy. You
Uh,
writing comic books is fucking dog shit. All right, hear me out, guys. His name is Unbreathable Man, and he just at night he just
No,
can't
he
breathe.
has full capability during the day, but then at night he just has these inner. That would be a great acid trip comic, where at night he starts having these hyperfixation issues that bring on these delusions, and
It's
you
not
get
a
to go
comic book.
down
It's
these
every
trips.
every fucking fat person, and it's called sleep apnea. This isn't. You didn't invent anything. You just talk to fat people, and they're like, "No, that's me." Why? Because you're fucking fat, and you're laying. Your fucking gut is hitting you in the fucking cheek. So when you lay back, that's all. Hey, how do you fix that? Should I pick drugs? No, you should take tape and put it on your fat face.
One next question. One day they're gonna have a pill that you could take that gives you all the benefits of working out for however long you wanted to work out.
Again, here's the thing. Get all the people that are talking about, like, again, this insanity, dude. This insanity of like, again, I ain't saying big isn't beautiful. I'm not saying that. You, dude, if I'll tell you for me, if I had to choose my wife being like 10 pounds too thin or 10 pounds too heavy, I'm taking the heavy version all fucking day long. I'd rather have a little more fucking butt. I don't care. I'll take a fucking stretch mark. I'll take a fucking dimple, but to have a little bit more butt cheeks. I'll take it. But to say big is healthy, dude, you're fucking crazy. That's like me saying one flat tire is just as efficient as four full tires. No, you can still drive on it, but it's shittier. It's fucking real shitty. And the bigger you get, the flatter those tires fucking get. Now I'm on four flat tires. It's better, right? They're all balanced. Nope, it's way fucking worse. So
Talking about rim damage.
you're talking, yeah, your own rim. You can damage the fuck out of your own rim if you fucking get too fat. But again, it's just, this is the insanity of this whole narrative. People talk about Lizzos, and I don't even know who that fucking person is. I had to fucking literally, I had to be tagged in like 20 Lizzo fucking memes to even know what the fuck Lizzo is.
She
It's
got mad
silly.
at her backup
I
dancers.
said for not being fat enough.
Yeah. And then people got mad at her because she lost a little bit of weight because she was doing all these tour schedule stuff, and I guess she must have ate less or something like that. And she had to make a public apology saying sorry, she did not mean to lose weight. It wasn't on purpose.
I
And
mean,
I'm just like, what
is
the
that not
fuck
the
is wrong with
biggest?
people?
So yeah, according to them, being fit is fat phobic. But how is being fat not fit phobic? Like this is
Well,
like, wait
no,
a
because
second.
not even like a month ago they were making fun of Leonardo DiCaprio with his dad bod at the
Oh
beach. So I
yeah,
was like,
or
it only
and
works
now
for women.
yeah, and now the Keanu, they're making fun of Keanu. Well, Keanu Reeves is out of shape since John Wick 4. And then you're like, dude, Lizzo looks like she ate old Keanu. You know what I mean? Like she looks like she ate Bill and Ted.
God damn it. Why is a double standard?
It's crazy, yeah, because they're fucking poor dudes, man. Us poor guys, we ain't got fucking shit.
We
I
have
mean,
no one to
I don't know.
talk to when
I
we
mean,
get
I don't know
sad.
who's worse. You know what I mean? You got guys, we get called if we have dad bods and they're shitty. We get caught out for that. But chicks get fucking dunked on by dudes and that are playing basketball. So I don't know who's fucking good. Maybe everyone's got it shitty, you know?
I
Everyone's got it
guess.
shitty.
Still not a fair point.
I don't know. I'm just saying it's just it's all like it's all insanity. I'm talking about that's what I'm talking about. Insanity to justify your own narratives. Look, dude, if you want, let's like take Conor McGregor for example. I used to be a big Conor fan. I love UFC and everything like that. And he's been talking about he's coming back, he's coming back, he's coming back. And then you see him, dude. He's fucking like sitting next to some hooker's butt cheeks, and he's fucking red, and he's on blow, and he's on juice, and he's on fun, and he's drinking a bottle of proper 12. Like, why now everyone's mad at him for keep saying you're coming back. Just tell the truth. Go, dude, I'm rich as fuck. You have a Lamborghini. I have a Lamborghini yacht. Like, dude, we're not the same, dude. I'm so fucking rich. You guys are in the cage beating the fuck out of each other for what I'm doing to get where I'm at right now. Fuck you. No, I'm not in fighting no more. Dude, everyone would have so much more respect for Conor if he told the truth. What's crazy is most people would agree with that. Most people like UFC fans, I just say UFC fans, like, yo, I'd be like, dude, what version of Conor you want to hear? And people are like, honestly, man, I just wish you would tell the truth. He has no intention of fighting. He's rich. He's sauced up. He's on fucking coke. Dude, let him enjoy his life. What's so fucking crazy is people will say, yeah, I want the truth. I'd rather hear the truth. Why, if you put that same thing on anything else that's going along. Hey, are you no, like, be like, dude, honestly, I wish I could be in shape. Honestly, you take any fucking fat chick, fat dude, whatever, and be like, dude, come here. You take this pill. You don't have to work out. And you can eat whatever the fuck you want. You're gonna be thin. Dude, everyone's gonna be like, no one's gonna take that. Go like, no, I'd rather fucking be like this. No, it's bullshit. The Nutty Professor got it right. When Eddie Murphy lost all that weight, his fucking Sherman clump, he's like, what do you want to wear? Spandex. Everything's spandex. He wanted to show that shit off. The chicks are hypocritical. Chicks are like, no, she's just showing off her body because she's a slut. Dude, loose for 20 pounds, fucking butt cheeks hanging out. Dude, look at that guy. He thinks he's so cool with his tank top. He's muscular. Dude, here's a pill. Boom, free muscles. Bro, that motherfucker's gonna be walking around shirtless, fucking washing his car outside. Everyone's just afraid to go, yeah, honestly, like, I'm a lazy shit, or I fucking love donuts because I fucking hate my life. And it's just better if I eat donuts. I feel better about myself. I hate myself later, but I feel good about myself for about 20 minutes. I'd be like, I get it, dude. I totally fucking get that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Not
I mean,
everyone.
and fill in that thing. You know what I mean? Hey, why do you drink? Dude, it's probably not good for me, but honestly, it makes me fucking not feel like killing myself from this time to this time. So, yeah, I get
That
it.
reminds me, it's about a time there for me to.
But that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And it's like, but if you just tell the truth, it's not so bad. You know what I mean? It's like, why do you fucking want to be a he, her, she, him, he, man?
God damn it, Jason! Come on now.
No, but I'm saying it. Why do you want to do that? Well, it's because you're like, dude, honestly, like, I've been trying to be a she for a minute. No guys want to eat my pussy. I'll fucking be a 4x4. You know what I mean? Or whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. You know, you call yourself a fucking the truth. You're fucking pig in the blanket. Fucking dumbasses. Dude, guess what? Guaranteed get your pussy licked by a willing dude. But all of a sudden, you're fucking just a normal chick with fucking brown hair. Crazy. Crazy. You want to be a gay guy, be a regular gay guy, just goes to a club, be like, hey, yo, what's up, man? You're good looking, man. Hey, you are too. I'll suck your dick. All right, sick. Gay, get him, get your dick sucked. I gotta be a he, him, they, them, do them. Like, how now? Why cow? Brown cow. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Just get laid and you'll fucking know who the fuck you are. And there's nobody listening to this thing going, like, wait a second, I got purple hair, I'm getting laid all the time. You lying sack of shit. Probably some other dude with purple hair fucking doing his thing too. If you got purple hair, I think it's sexy. That's the thing. I actually love
I
it.
switched up my Tinder profile to be nothing but me and Tom Holland photos matched together, and I've gotten like 26 likes on that thing. Someone messaged me and was like, I'd love to watch Spider-Man 1, 2, but not 3. And I was just like, why not 3? 3 was like my favorite.
I haven't seen. Is that the one with like it's like Toby and like all the people are coming in it?
Sandman and no, it's not the new Spider-Man Far From Home. It's the original Toby movie, but it's
With
Spider-Man
with the
3. Yeah,
Sandman. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, I thought you meant I never. I didn't see that Far From Home one where it's like the multiverses. I
it's
heard
pretty
that was
good.
cool. Yeah, I heard that was cool. Yeah,
I saw it in theaters, and then when I was leaving the theater just to go to the bathroom and come back, people were double taking, looking at me.
that's sick, dude.
I was like, yeah. And then when I went out in the actual like lobby part, there was a Uncharted poster which Tom Holland's in with Mark Wahlberg, and I was standing by, and a little girl ran up to me, and her brother grabbed her. He's like, "That's not him. That's not him."
Dude, you know what we should do? Because everyone always thinks everyone's like, bro, do you forget that you look like Mark Wahlberg? And you know, Mark because Wahlburgers is here and everything like that. And we should go out and just be like, we should walk around the strip as Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg promoting
$5 a photo.
yeah. Like a shitty bro. I mean, well, Tom, it's shitty, you know what I mean? But like you get hey, look, the real if you wanted a real photo with Mark and Tom, it'd be a big ass fucking line and probably like a $50 autograph per person. You can for like $3, you can get
Walmart brand.
yeah, or the Wish, the Wish version
Yeah,
of
Wish
fucking
version.
Wahlburger, dude. Because it's funny, but I actually tell people like, "Oh, dude," I was like, "Yeah, I know, I get it a lot." I'm like, I was a stunt double, and because age wise, it makes sense for me. People are like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm 47, so you know, I was a double for him in Boogie Nights. I was a double for him, and they're like, "Oh, dude, that's sick." Because people are like, a lot of people are on. They're like, because we're like, I guess we're like, I saw Mark. We he walked right past me at Olympia a couple years ago, and we're like literally like the same size, dude. My forearms are bigger than his, but yeah, other than that, we're like the same size dude. Um, but yeah, you should make photos of you and Tom Holland together.
I try to get him on the podcast. It'd be interesting.
Yeah, he's probably gay. He won't do it. That's what you should
Um,
do. You should be like, Tom, don't be gay. He's come on the podcast. What the fuck?
yeah, that's how you get him. That's how you
Yeah,
hook
hey
him in.
man, just send him a dick pic
I
like
want
your
to get
fucking buddy.
OJ at some point. At some point, I gotta get OJ on here.
Yeah.
I found the girl that
You
the
do have a fucking death wish.
I
You're going after everybody.
I found the guy who was on the 30 for 30, who was the person that was actually sleeping with OJ's wife, and I had to request to follow him on Instagram. He accepted it. I sent him a message about it, and he was like, I can't talk about it now, but I can talk about it, later. It's because it was the anniversary not too long ago of when it happened. So he was like, give me some time. So I'm hoping one day I could be able to have Keith. His name is Keith Zimmer or something. But he's on the 30 for 30. I was like, bro, I'll get that, tag OJ in it, and then OJ can come on and tell his story. But I would only talk about Naked Gun. That's all I would do. And what I thought I would do is, well, as I'm asking about Naked Gun, after we finish the podcast, I would go back into it and edit. And every time he paused talking, I'd go, did you kill it? Did you do
Yeah,
it?
that's how I
Did
would
you
say.
do
I
it?
would talk about Naked Gun the whole time. I go, okay, OJ, thanks for having on the show. One more thing before you. The biggest question is, did you kill your wife?
No, I wouldn't even ask him in the podcast. I think it would be hilarious. I think it would be hilarious that if I edit it where I added in me saying, did you do it after every time he stopped talking? So it's like, why is he just talking about Naked Gun? He keeps asking him, did he do it? And it's just him going off about like, and then in this scene, I was doing this. And it's like, did you do it?
Or
And
make it real and is it true? Is it everyone wants to know, is it true? Did you do it? And by what I mean, did you do it? Did you actually have to audition for Naked Gun, or were you just like given the part because you were pretty famous back in the
that's
day?
good. I'll use that if I ever get the chance to. I just wish I would take it so seriously. Just let me ask about Naked Gun. There's a whole side of history we're going to end up missing because everyone just keeps saying murderer, murderer, murderer in his comments and putting knife emojis.
He put some work in on the Naked Gun movies. Those are great.
That's what I'm
You know, a
saying.
movie I watched the other day I never saw till just 2 days ago, and I watched it 2 days in a row. You ever seen the movie Hot Rod?
Yeah.
I never saw that. It was like 2007. Yeah, I never.
You look pretty. What'd you say, Rod? I said you look shitty. Good night, Denise. And then fucking runs
I've been
off.
drinking green teas all day. I'm using that one. Yeah, no, that movie really made me laugh. It was if you want to know a little bit about me and my sense of humor, just watch the end of that movie. You know the scene where they're walking and it's like every turns into that big triumphant music video.
Oh, yeah.
That's like how my brain works. So you're pretty much, if you didn't like me, you'd be like, nah, he's all right. He's just poor kid's fucking crazy.
I think you're a stand-up guy, but we are going to wrap it. Jason, where can people
Yeah,
find you?
fuck all Max.
Okay.
I don't know. Don't find me anywhere. It's probably better you just leave me alone.
Jason 15 at all max. It's a
Yeah, if you want to
discount
save
code.
money. Yeah, if you want to save money on supplements. Yeah. No, you can't find me. I'm Hayden.
Okay. Well, everybody, thanks for listening to this episode of Battle Blank Podcast. Stay tuned for next episode.